So, have you ever seen that movie where the guy's got multiple personalities?
It's called Split, etc. Have you seen it?
No, I've wanted to for like 8 years, but now you're making me second guess that.
Well, we're going to watch it.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
Are you ever fascinated by I'm often fascinated by the human race and by psychology and
Sure.
things that like the nurture versus nature thing.
Sure.
Right? And how your upbringing and the circumstances that you grow up in really form who you are and what you find offensive and what you don't find offensive. And then in life you go and you pair up with another person. Sometimes you will go and pair up with another person and they've had a completely different upbringing than you. And so like sometimes you can just like grind each other's gears, or even like friendships. It doesn't even need to be a significant other. Just like the other people that you interact with can find
up
you.
With me?
No, so here's the thing. There's a word that I use. I'm not going to say often, but it's a word that I like is my go-to word to describe.
Superfluous.
No, to describe a set of behaviors in someone. And it's just sort of like my default word for it.
Are you sure it's not superfluous?
I'm sure. Okay. Yeah, that wouldn't make sense.
Right.
And it's just kind of like my default word for it. And
Dick.
And it wasn't until like a week ago that I found out that my mom like really doesn't like that. Like she was like really upset with me for using that word and thought it was like.
Is it the donkey
or is
word?
it? Hang on. No. My mom didn't like the one. It turns out Brienne doesn't. There were two words. My mom didn't like the one, and Brienne really didn't like the other. And
now your vocabulary is out the window.
Well, and now I could see the one more than the other. So I'll tell you what it was. Right.
Sure.
And the set of behaviors that it is describing is sort of like cranky or agitated or irritable or, whatever.
Okay.
And so the one term that one of them didn't like, again, I can't remember which was which, and this is the one that I can kind of be like, yeah, I don't really like that either. It seems a tad aggressive, is the word bitchy, right?
Right.
Someone's
Okay.
being a little bitchy.
Sure.
And
Right, we can say that, but we can't say the S word.
right. So I was like, we can say the S word, we just can't say the F word.
Why
We can say shit all day. Don't say it. Don't.
Why can't we say the F word?
Because Peter.
We could say all the other curse words, but the F word.
No, we can't say the C word.
You can't say my name?
No.
Damn it.
But yeah, so I can see that, right? Bitchy is like, it's
Sure.
it's aggressive. But my default one, the one that I go to, that the other person, again, I don't know if it was my mom or Brienne, but was like, I really don't like that word. Like, I think that's just nasty. Is pissy.
Okay.
Right? Just being a little pissy right now. Right? Just in a pissy mood. And it's just this, I don't know, I've been thinking about it all week, because I'm like, I don't know, to me, like, I don't mean that any more aggressively than I would say cranky or agitated or irritable or whatever. But like,
it's got a bit of an edge to it compared to those.
But again, depending on who you ask. And that's what I find
you're
so
talking to.
Sure. And that's what I find so fascinating, is that, like, I can say, oh, Carl's a real dick. Right? And someone would be like, oh, gosh, that's aggressive. I would have just called him a jerk. And it's like, well, no, what do you mean? Like, I mean, that's
like
that's what I mean.
subcultures within cultures have
I guess,
different
yeah.
meanings and uses.
But then
for
I just
words.
find it like the odds seem stacked against us as humans to make friendships or relationships and not inevitably offend each other because we just have different upbringings.
Or maybe we're just too sensitive.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Anyways, this has nothing to do with anything.
How you
Hello
doing?
and welcome to the
Hi.
Movie Men podcast.
Yeah. We're the B team.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Brady.
It's one of my personalities.
Over there. Yeah.
It's one of my identities.
He also goes by George sometimes. George is a dick.
I've never gone by George.
George is pissy.
Like George is George.
Well, you've never met George.
George is a
I've
bitch.
met George.
Right. Right. And that's Penelope.
Hello.
This is so off the rails. It's so unbelievably off the rails. We watched Split
Yeah.
because 2 weeks ago you made me watch Unbreakable.
Yeah.
Now-
this is kind of technically part 2 in a
Part
trilogy.
two. And I do want to, like, on that point, I want to make a potential. I want to offer up a potentially unnecessary apology to the listener, in the sense that right now it feels like the Movie Man podcast is the podcast that reviews the Conjuring universe, the Unbreakable universe, and the Planet of the Apes films, because we kind of have 3 series
Going right
on the
now.
go. However,
But this is just a trilogy.
both
over
mine,
before
which is
we
the
know it.
Conjuring universe, and Carl's, which is the Unbreakable universe, are both going to wrap up pretty much at the same time.
That'd be interesting.
And so then from there, it'll be just like,
well, and like
it'll be the who's who.
really, I've only had 2 other films that were kind
no, I
of
know.
connected with the Robin Hoods. But
100%.
one was like completely different genre, even though it was the same
100%.
character.
But just when you
Yeah.
look at the podcast in
Right
terms of the fact that we flip flop, it's essentially 6 weeks
Yeah.
of just
Yeah.
working on 3 series.
Yeah.
So
Fun.
if none of these are up your alley,
Just hold on.
you're probably not listening to this
Just wait.
because you probably
Just
saw it. And
go
you're like,
back. There's a big long list of movies that have
yeah,
been read.
shit ton of episodes.
Yeah, read. We read them.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Anyway,
anyways, we
Split.
watched Split.
First impressions? I go first?
Initial impressions. Sure.
My pick, me
Yeah,
go
we
first?
can jump into that. Sure.
Yeah. Did you have something you wanted to...
Well, I mean, this could
wanna
technically
banter
be
a little bit more?
This could technically be a part of my initial impression, but I just want to reiterate to the listener something I said to you when the film ended, which was just like, this will be this is an interesting one for me because I have a little bit of figuring out to do as this episode goes on, because I had several mentality shifts throughout this episode. I started watching the movie feeling one way, and then at a certain point, all of a sudden I was hit with an additional feeling, and then both of those feelings, or one of those feelings, kind of started to waver, and then the film mentally changed scores in my head
As you
several
were
times
watching
while
it.
watching.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah, so go ahead.
So, yeah. So, for me, this
Yeah.
is only my second viewing of Split.
Yeah,
But I think this is I don't know if I mentioned this when we watched Unbreakable, but I've watched a lot of M. Night Shyamalan films. Almost not, I wouldn't say all. There's probably a couple that I have missed,
right,
but I've seen almost all of his stuff.
right.
And he's got some duds in his back catalog, but he's got some good ones. And I would say this movie for M. Night Shyamalan is like top 5, maybe even top 3 of films he's made. Potentially.
Really?
Yeah, for me, yeah. I think it's really good.
I want to pull up his list
Yeah,
here.
I want to do the same. I'm going to keep talking though.
The Sixth Sense, which has to be in the top 3, I would say.
I don't know. Like, I don't know.
Signs?
I think part of it is just like the attention to detail that James McAvoy brings to his acting in this.
Sure, but that's James McAvoy.
But the story in itself is really interesting.
Yeah.
And the way that it unfolds, and he kind of subtly at the beginning kind of drops hints and tidbits and kind of foreshadows what's to come. And then as we get closer, those hints and foreshadows become less subtle, so that if you missed them before, you're not going to be like, wait, what the hell? What?
Look, I'm not necessarily arguing with you. I'm not agreeing with you. I'm just saying I think it's interesting that the man that did The Sixth Sense, Signs, The Village, Knock at the Cabin, that you're putting this potentially in the top 3.
Yes. So he's done some really, and I think a lot of those films would get subjective in which ones are top 5, right?
Sure.
So, and I'm not saying it's top 3 because a lot of his films I've only seen once. But you know, I think the point I'm making here is that this is a good, high quality M. Night Shyamalan film.
Okay.
And that would be my first impression.
Just looking up, I'm curious what 5%. The Last Airbender has a 5%.
The Last Airbender
Rotten
is
Tomatoes.
horrible. So have I not ranted about this before on this show?
I'm sure you have.
About like they don't even the show is a North American show with an kind of an anime flavor to it, but it's like written and produced by North American, like American dudes.
Yep.
And they do a real service to kind of pay homage to Asian influences that kind of they're drawing their inspiration from to make the film. Like each of the bending types uses a different type of martial art style look. And anyway, the big thing is like from the show cartoon to the movie that M. Night Shyamalan did, like half the people's names are pronounced completely incorrect. Like 3 seasons of the cartoon, you have to like take your cues from, and you get the main character's name wrong. Everybody says his name. It's not a mispronunciation. That's his name, right? Like his name all throughout the cartoon is Aang, and it's not mispronounced because it's an Asian film that was dubbed into America.
Right.
It's an American show made in America, produced in America, voiced in America.
Quit. Stop hitting the table.
It's sorry.
I get your point.
It's frustrating because it's like, oh no, it would be pronounced Ong in Asia. No, his name is Aang. Anyway, what did your first impression, sir?
Well, I only saw The Last Airbender once.
I was
and it was in the
talking
drive-in.
about something else, but
Oh.
the movie we just watched.
Oh, okay.
We're not talking about that trash.
I thought we were derailing
No.
again. I think that James McAvoy's performance is insane.
Right.
Like genuinely insane. You can see like the changes that he does in facial expression when a new identity is coming into the light.
Yeah, like what
sells you on, like it convinces you that a change has just happened.
Watching your reaction when he's at the psychiatrist's office and goes from the fashion designer
from Barry to Dennis.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. That's insane.
That was really well done. I think I think it starts out as a really interesting character study. I think it plays with some really interesting questions, some concepts about the disorder. I mean, it's interesting that, like, you know, again, this is a different, like, in this world, it seems like the whole world, except for this doctor, for the most part, are in denial that dissociative personality disorder exists. And I mean, the film is...
I think it's more to the level that she's saying it exists, that people are kind of like,
well, they talk about how
it.
like the lady doesn't buy it at all. Her old friend doesn't buy it at all.
Yeah, but she's just a old timer.
But then they were saying that like
world.
that people think that they're all, you know, like, oh, they don't really believe, they think it's mood swings, right? There's like the other academic person, he's like, it's a mood disorder. Well, it's dissociative personality disorder.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, actually, that the title of this film is a little outdated, like didn't age well, because we no longer call it split personality disorder. There's no such thing. It's dissociative personality disorder.
They call it that in the film.
They call it what? Dissociative person. Yeah, no, I know. And that's why it's just like the title of the film is a little odd to me, but that's fine. I think despite all that, I think there's a little bit of bloat in this film, like some unnecessary bloat. And I think that it takes a couple of, I think this film suffers from it taking a couple of unnecessary, or it takes some turns that require you to suspend a shit ton of disbelief, because I think it's just the script writing process, or like how to progress this thing and bring it all home, I think was a disjointed process. And then I think the film also suffers a little bit from one hell of an afterthought to try to join this into something, like on the level of, hey, we should film a post-credit scene where they're all eating shawarma. We should do it like the day after the film actually premieres, and then ship that out so that it's on the, like,
yeah,
it's yeah, but we'll get into that.
I kind of got into that at the end of Unbreakable,
and we'll break that down more. But that would be sort of my initial impression, and I think also kind of lays out some of the internal struggle that I'm having. Is that there's masterful acting, there's some really interesting questions asked, there's a real theme of a really fascinating character study going on here. But then ultimately, there's also like a lot of stuff that just irked me. So yeah.
All right. Well, let's dive into some of that.
All right. What do you want to know?
So you were just saying about how there's some bloat.
Yeah.
What's bloating?
I don't see any so we have all these camping flashbacks, hunting, camping flashbacks, and I appreciate them, and I understand their use in the sense that that it then explains her knowledge around a shotgun in the climax of the film. Like, it makes sense that
would be
she's
part of it,
familiar with a gun. Ultimately, and I can see ways that they try to tie it in and they try to make it relevant, but I think the whole like being sexually assaulted by her uncle thing just felt like bloat. Like it, and I'm not saying like, oh, that made me uncomfortable, so it shouldn't have been in the film. No, it made me uncomfortable, but that's not the reason. You know, like, if it serves a real narrative purpose, include the uncomfortable stuff. That's
Right.
a part of the film experience. 100%. I just ultimately I don't think it served enough of a narrative purpose to justify it being there.
So, forgive me because
Yep.
you didn't mention it, so it feels like it went over your head, but maybe it didn't, and you're just not saying it. But that's the whole reason she's alive.
No, I get that. And that's what I'm saying is like I can see how they try, like they tied it in and tried to make it like this relevant thing, but ultimately like that just I was like but why? Why
She's like
introduce
him.
this whole
She is him.
I know, but like
Just another version of who he is.
well, no. She
doesn't have dissociative disorder,
no, she's just a victim of abuse.
but so is he.
Right. But
They're the same.
But there's
and that's the whole point of the beast is to that those that are broken are
yeah.
the next
it just
evolution.
felt stupid to me. It just felt like a dumb like
But that's what the whole film builds to.
okay, this doesn't mean I don't think it's dumb.
Right.
Right? I still think it's a dumb
I don't know. I would argue that that's not bloat, that it's good storytelling.
okay. I'm telling you
Yeah.
I think
I
it's
know.
bloke because
I
I
know.
think it's
I'm
ultimately
allowed to have
dumb.
a counterpoint.
No, 100%. 100%.
Right. Like I think to counter the point and my perspective of what you're calling bloat is yeah, I would say it's good storytelling in that okay, she's this odd girl that gets invited to a party.
Yeah.
We find out gets in trouble all the time.
Yeah.
She's acting completely different than the other two girls in that for some reason she's calm in this crazy situation.
Yeah.
And she's thinking more clearly than they are.
Yeah.
Because she's quickly tells the girl you pee on yourself right at the very beginning, right? And then we start to learn a little bit about her past, and her past at first seems quaint and happy.
Well, her dad seems like a bit of a drunk. He's
Well-
drinking and wielding a gun.
Well,
but,
they're on a hunting. She's on a hunting trip with her dad. It seems quaint,
sure.
right? But then as that story unravels, we find out that oh crap, there's trauma in her life. It's
Yeah.
not happy. Oh crap, it's even worse because now she's stuck with this guy because daddy's gone.
I think
Right.
so. I think maybe what I don't like about it is that in the present, it doesn't seem to be impacting her except in positive ways. Right? It's making her more clear and more focused in this situation,
Right.
and ultimately it spares her life. Right? Like there's no when she's required to take an article of clothing off by Dennis, it doesn't
She's not fearful
it
for
it doesn't it doesn't seem to impact her any more than it would anybody else in that
Where
situation.
the other girls are like scared.
They're
and trembling.
scared and they're whatever, and she's pretty cool beans about it, and so I think to me that's why it felt disjointed. It felt like why, and not that I'm like, oh, it's a negative message, like it's ultimately good to assault people. No, that's not what I'm saying.
No, I'm not hearing you say that, but I'm not. I just don't agree with your point.
That's fine.
Yeah. I don't see that. I would see that that's.
like.
I would say that it makes more sense for her to kind of be like, I've been through this. I know what to that. If I don't listen, then it gets. She's got scars all over her body because she probably didn't listen when she got told to take her shirt off.
Yeah. When she gave
So-
her uncle trouble.
Yeah. So okay, if I just listen, then things will go smoothly, and I'll get an opportunity to get out of here.
Yeah, but I don't know.
But anyway.
To me, it just like
Yeah.
it wasn't. Not that it wasn't clear enough. It wasn't. I think if it was developed a little more, then like I think if we saw, once she was with her uncle that he was abusing her, or that, like, you know, we almost got to see her go through a similar scenario to connect those dots of, like, you know, that there really is a parallel happening here, then I think I would have found that more fascinating. And so it's a fine line, right? You can easily underdevelop something. You can easily you can easily like beat your audience over the head with something.
Right.
And to me, it was just a tad on the underdeveloped side.
Right. So it's less of a bloating issue. It's more of a could have been told better.
Well, but ultimately, because it was underdeveloped, it just ends up as bloat. Right. Either develop it properly or don't have it in there.
Sure.
Yeah. So what else?
You had some other stuff you didn't like.
Yeah. There's some real malarkey in terms of, like, the coat hanger opening the barrel bolt, right? Because
I'm not going to fight you on that one.
It had to be perfect. Like, the odds that it was already perfectly aligned for her, unlikely. B, the odds that she didn't knock it out of alignment completely,
or just like
boning herself,
fall down and actually lock latch properly.
Yeah. And then C, the fact that there's no way she'd have enough leverage on that thing. Like, it would have to be so loose.
You're missing the biggest, the most egregious sin of that scene is that doors don't work like that.
What do you mean?
Okay, we have a door in this room.
Yeah.
Let's look at this door.
Yeah.
There's no way you're getting a coat hanger through there. There's a door. First off, most of the time,
depending on how the door's put together.
Most doors are built the same. There's crack. The crack's not big enough to fit a door through. On top of that, there's the door jamb.
Yeah, but I don't know. That doesn't bother me.
That specific door, it bothers me.
In the sub basement of a zoo, where, like, I don't. You're making a lot of
industrial metal doors
about...
every door's got a door jamb, goes all around three sides of the door. That door was built specifically for that scene. It bothers me.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like doors don't work like that.
So I get your point, but I don't necessarily think it's the biggest sin. I think the fact that physics was 100% against her, right? Like, it's conceivable that the door was just like that.
Yeah.
However,
that latch would have to be the physics
loose.
to actually slap it over with that long of a
and in order
coat
for
hanger,
it to be that loose, it would have just dropped down.
Yeah.
Right? It would have just dropped down, and also, like, on the other side of a door, even if you got it bent in such a way that you could get the hook down to, you'd just be flailing around. Like, she's doing it with too much precision to, like, really. Yeah. So that was malarkey.
She did anyway. It doesn't matter.
Dr. Fletcher's whole, I'm going to try to talk this psychopath down and reason with him, rather than, like, she had an out. He was going to let her leave. And she took it too far.
Yeah.
As opposed to just getting the hell out of there and going to the police.
Yeah, I chalk that up to her hubris, but yeah, that's like not that this is a horror film. That's like a horror film kind of trope kind of thing, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got to go back for my thing. I'm gonna go because I need my wallet.
And also, and this is something, like, right from the beginning of the film, I was like, I didn't know that chloroform came in an aerosol spray can.
I don't know what that was.
Like, not that am or have been or ever will be in the market for it, but it's just fascinating to know that such a thing would exist.
Yeah. I don't think like, even like what we see in normal movies with, like, the thing over the face, I think I watched or I seen or heard something sometime recently that it doesn't even work that fast. Like,
I'm about to get flagged by the government. How fast does chloroform work? Like, I swear I'm going to get It takes at least 5 minutes of inhalation of
Yeah.
chloroform
Yeah.
to render a person unconscious. Most criminal cases involving chloroform involve co-administration of another drug, such as alcohol or diazepam, or the victim being complicit in its administration.
So any movie you ever watch, it's kind of like silencers on guns in movies. It doesn't work the way it actually works in real life, right? Like you watch a spy film where they chloroform the guy and he's out in like 2 seconds.
Oh yeah, you just hold the rag over the face and
For two
and they're
seconds,
out.
1, 2, they're out.
Yeah.
Right? Silencers, pew, pew, pew.
Yeah.
It's not how silencers work.
No.
So like, if
Even
that's not how
even airsoft is louder
Yeah.
than
if that's not how chloroform works on a rag, this is
It needs to be aerosol.
The aerosol version is definitely a invention for the movie's purposes. Yeah,
But I don't know, like maybe it wasn't chloroform, but that was just another thing that like we don't even ever get a glimpse at the can. Like that was just I don't know, we'll give them something in a spray can. They'll buy it. No one will question this.
it's the first second scene-ish of the movie.
Yeah. But then he uses it again on Dr.
He
Fletcher.
He does. It's right near the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, maybe one of the personalities is a some kind of genius scientist.
Maybe. So I didn't like those things. I mean, I didn't mind the aerosol in the can. I just thought it's like it took me out of it, right? It was like it was a component of the film, whereas so much of it felt really thought through. Mm-hmm. It was just a sloppy like throw spaghetti at the wall kind of thing, and I'm like, okay. Yeah.
The film's got some suspension of disbelief stuff for sure. But I mean, the guy crawls on walls. So
I liked that. Yeah. See, and then there's that, and I don't see because I liked, and that's sort of the bastardization of an element that I otherwise liked. I liked the fact that that Hedwig, only had the physical strength of a 9-year-old.
right.
Because it speaks to the mind. Like, if in that moment the brain is telling the body, you are a 9-year-old boy, like the brain controls everything else, right? You can be jacked, but if there's something wrong with your brain in the capacity that controls, talks to, or works with your muscles, you're not going to be able to use that muscle mass to lift things.
Yeah.
You just won't, right? And so I liked that. And the film kind of early on talks about how, like, it's the brain telling the body and changing,
They foreshadow that kind of strength and those abilities, like somebody who was blind could see, and somebody who
and
could
I loved
can
that,
now do
right?
this.
Only one of the identities needs insulin, right? But and so I have no issue with the fact that the beast is really strong. No issue with that, because again, like there are reports of like real life Incredible Hulk moments, right? Like there are accounts of
mothers
lifting cars off their children at the scene of accidents, right? Like it's amazing what the body can do.
Yeah.
Now those mothers
adrenaline's a great drug.
Those mothers are in physiotherapy afterwards because they've done physical damage to their actual body once the adrenaline wears off. But so I had no issue with that. And then the crawling on the walls thing happens, and I'm like,
They do kind of give reason for it. They do kind of
for sure,
like a rock climber being able to.
For sure,
Yeah.
but it's
And they describe how he could. The way they describe how she kind of described. Was it her or I think it was her?
Yeah.
Describing what she's been told by the other personalities
then
about
the fact-
how he could do it.
Yeah,
and that's actually how a lot of like lizards and things do it. You know, like
Sure.
they keep the anyway.
But then the body also takes like buckshots at almost point range, and
Right.
and they don't go through. It's barely a flesh wound, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like that. There's this weird moment in this film, in the third act, where Act 1 and Act 2 are fairly grounded, really interesting character study.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, at the flip of a switch, this becomes like supernatural, superhero, suspend all disbelief, mayhem movie.
You don't feel like the foreshadowing builds up to it enough?
I think it builds up to it. I just still don't like the... I enjoyed so much the world that we were experiencing that when all of a sudden that change happens, I'm like, right? Like I'm just like, now it's not interesting anymore.
Even going into it, even knowing the world it's set in, where there's a guy who's invulnerable and has super strength.
But only in the last 11 seconds of the film.
No, but you went into the film knowing that's the world.
Yes, but you know what? So this is one of those interesting moments that I had. I was watching, like, up until about, I would guess, maybe the halfway mark of this film. I'm thinking, man, I'm probably going to give this an 8, but it might be I might give this a 9. Right? And I was hating myself for what that would do to our score averages. But I was like, I might give this a 9. Like I really, and then there was a moment where I thought to myself, at some point in this film, they're going to connect this to Unbreakable. And I really wish that wasn't the case. I was like, I really wish that wasn't going to happen.
Interesting.
Because I'm like, because up until the third act, there's no reason for it, right? You could have done, and I think how this film probably was, like early drafts of this film, just a really interesting character study.
Agreed. Yeah.
Right? And then it was like, wow, maybe there's a way like to tie this in to, and then I think started like back writing to be like, well, if that's the case, then I can get away with a little bit more, right?
Well, the big question would be, if that was M. Night Shyamalan's thought process / writing process, what would have been the twist if it wasn't in the Unbreakable universe?
Well, and that's the other thing, right? So M. Night Shyamalan
like
films...
the big twist is that the Beast is real and it's part of this Unbreakable verse.
See, I didn't see the Beast being real really as a twist. Certainly not an M. Night level twist.
No.
But neither is, oh shit, it's Bruce Willis, right? Like that to me
well,
is
if you're in the theater for
twist.
the first viewing
if you
ever,
didn't
then,
know, right? Then
like I'm sure they didn't advertise it, which thank God they didn't if that's the case, because that's a great little twist at the end.
But I ultimately wish, and what will hurt the score of this film for me, what the things that are bringing it down from a perfect 10 are the fact that it's connected to that it all got tied in,
right,
and that it didn't just stay 3 acts, 2 hours of this really interesting, like, to me the perfect progression of this film is the Beast thing happens. He's super strong, doesn't climb on the walls, right? But is super strong, and then she says she says his full name. He snaps out of it, tells her about the shotgun and the ammo. Then Mr. Dennis and Miss Patricia come back, and there's a little bit of a struggle, but ultimately she ends up shooting him, killing him. She gets out. She's lost her 2 friends. She's all shaken up. The authorities arrive, the whatever else, and it's a standalone film. Nothing supernatural happens. It's just a real psychological thriller.
Right.
To me, had that been the way this played out, and then remove the stupid coat hook hanger thing, and the fact that what's her name? What's the main Cassie? What's the main girl's name?
I find it. I got it.
Anya Taylor-Joy. Her character's name is Casey Cook. The fact that ignore the fact that Casey somehow gets through a deadbolt door using a bolt.
Oh yeah, that was a bit.
There's like no explanation
wild.
for that. It's just like
Yeah.
I'm gonna start picking at it.
Well, it's
and
not
then-
deadbolt. It is just a latch door, but still.
No, it's a deadbolt. There was a key. He turns a key. It's a deadbolt. It's a double-sided deadbolt. It uses a key
Okay.
on both sides. Yeah. And so is the yeah. Totally is. But anyways, doesn't matter. Take all that out of it, I might have given this like a 9.5 or like a little bit higher. If that had been
Wild.
sort of the trajectory
narrative,
of this
yeah.
film. Yeah. A lot of the stuff in the third act, although fascinating to watch, I was just like, this is just a different film now. Like it just changed.
Sure.
And nothing that came in the third act raised the score. Right? It was still
Okay.
entertaining. It was like his
Yeah.
stuff was going on, and I'm like, okay, I'm still watching. Like I'm still interested.
Okay.
But it's all this is doing is hurting my initial love for what was happening.
Right.
Yeah.
So you've hated on it,
Yes.
but you did like some stuff.
I
What-
looked up.
Let's go over some of the things you enjoyed.
So I looked up because I wanted to see what kind of accolades this film had. And there are several Best Actor nominations from stuff like Teen Choice Awards, Saturn Awards, MTV Movie Awards, Empire Awards, stuff like that. James McAvoy won Best Actor in the San Diego Film Critics Society, and he won Villain of the Year in the Seattle Film Critics Society. I'm a little shocked, and I mean, again, I don't know what... let's see, 2020 or 2016 Best Actor nominees.
That's weird.
So Eddie Redmayne in The Danish Girl, Michael Fassbender, Steve Jobs, Matt Damon in The Martian, Leo in The Revenant. Oh, so that was the year that Leo won his Revenant Oscar.
Oh yeah.
So James McAvoy was not going to win Best Actor at the Oscars. I'm a little surprised that it didn't get a nomination, though. Like, I'm a little surprised that, like, ultimately, this is not only the best performance I've seen James McAvoy give, but I would herald this the performance of a lifetime. Like, it's just that good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's incredible. It makes you think James McAvoy can do anything.
Yeah, so I really like that. I do like all of the stuff with the Doctor. Ultimately I liked Dr. Fletcher as a character. I think she's a little stupid at the end, but
Yeah.
but I liked her. I really liked the sessions that they were in. Ultimately, and again, this is going back to the James McAvoy thing, but like there was a moment in this film where I thought to myself specifically, I was like, every moment where James McAvoy is on screen, I'm captivated. I'm just hanging on every word,
Right.
every expression, every micro expression. Like I'm just
You're
in this.
you're paying attention, especially when you find out that he's got one of his personalities is pretending to be another.
Yes.
Once that's fully revealed, you almost go like, oh crap, is this happening more? Like you start when he's like coming in as the boy or hanging out with one of the girls as the boy. You're like, is he the boy?
Yeah.
When you're like paying close attention for any kind of shift in mannerisms, facial expressions, like you said, almost micro expressions. Like, yeah, talk about intensity in acting. We had a little. I asked you near the end of the film if the veins from the beast were real. You thought they
no. Hang on. So they're a mix.
yeah.
So there is CGI used.
Oh yeah, because they like pulse color.
Well, not just that, but like when he's first changing, they're like running down, like they're growing down his arm.
I think that's real.
How?
He's flexing.
No. But I mean,
he's purposely like
no. But I mean, there's a moment where, as you see him, I think it's the second, like the last transition or transformation, where like you see his like bulging veins starting here, and then like slowly crawling down his arm into this like it's a transformation.
Okay.
And so that's CGI because there's no way to do that without. Like, even if there was a way to physically do that by injecting him with something, you'd kill him, right? So that is CGI.
I started looking for something to say, like, or how real are the veins? Anyway, I found it doesn't really say one way or the other if they are or not, but just a really interesting article with a couple quotes from James about acting in this role.
Yep.
He says, you're in every day working your socks off acting, and you're also at the gym at 5 a.m, and then pretty much working out on set whenever you are the beast.
Yeah.
To get you all pumped up and get your veins popping and get the relevant muscles swollen for the shot.
Yeah, and
hang on, there's more. Look, he's not like a supervillain in most movies who's like, I look like I've got a 6-pack and I'm going to destroy the world. McAvoy says he is not a megalomaniac, despotic human. He's an alien, an animal. He's other than human. And he's also very exhausting. Playing this creature was knackering, man, the actor says. Just standing still as the beast was tiring in a way that no other character is.
Yeah, for sure. And so I think it's a combination of three things. I think there's CGI when he's transforming and you're first seeing those veins like run down his arm.
Yeah.
I think that there is in some shots probably some cosmetic augmentation. I think there's some makeup to make them a little bluer or make them pop on camera a little bit more.
Right, okay.
But also, we've seen, like, he has demonstrated in the past, like, those shots where he's, like, sitting in the psychiatrist in Dr. Fletcher's office and you can see, like, the forehead veins and stuff popping. He did that in Wanted. Mm-hmm. Right? When he's having, like, anxiety attacks and stuff. Yeah. So we've seen, like, he's got prominent veins, especially forehead veins, and he's able to pop them. So I think it's probably a little bit of all three.
And then there's definitely some CG, like you can really see it in like one of the last scenes just after he gets shot with a shotgun. The veins in his back are like pulsing green. And,
which is So, what else did I like? I mean, I like the fact that Anya Taylor-Joy's in it. She's fantastic and everything. And this was no exception. I like that both friends die because it adds stakes.
Yep.
Right?
Agreed.
It makes it not just a happy ending.
Yeah.
And so I like that. Not crazy about the ambiguity about whether or not Casey ends up with her Her uncle again?
Oh, she definitely doesn't. He's going to jail. She's telling people now.
Yeah, but what I would have liked was in that moment, and I was waiting for the cop, because the cop was like looking at her face, reading her.
Yeah.
And I think picking up on the fact that there's
Yeah.
trauma or something
definitely.
there.
Yeah.
And so what I would have loved was just like a woman to woman understanding, some sort of line where the cop says like, not a problem, and like closes the door.
Right. She doesn't say anything, but the cop picks up.
The cop picks up on it and gives some sort of verbal acknowledgement, and then closes the door so that Casey is in there and she's safe. Right. And then that's it. I don't need to see the uncle get arrested. I don't need to see Casey give the full detailed past. But just something a little bit more from the cop, I think, would have been, not necessarily clearer, but would have been a really nice touch that the cop has understood. Mm-hmm. Right. And so I think that would have been nice. But yeah, I mean, in a nutshell, my feelings toward the film are positive. And I liked most things up until the third act. I didn't dislike everything about the third act, but I was like, come on. Right? Like, there's a couple moments where it's like, now he's crawling up the walls, and I'm like, well, we've just thrown caution to the wind, haven't we? Right? Like, it's just like radioactive spider much? Like, what's...
He's alien.
Yeah. Yeah. But you haven't said much about... You've just kind of tried to counter my points, but like where...
I agreed with some.
No, I know.
I got one more.
Yeah, what do you got?
And I should have asked you this when we watched Unbreakable, but it was such a small thing by comparison. What did you think of the cameo by the director, Mr. Shyamalan?
I'm not opposed to director cameos. Peter Jackson is famously the carrot-eating man in the village of Bree in both The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
He's also the hand during the spider
He is.
scene.
James Cameron is famously the hands drawing naked Rose in Titanic, because I guess Leo can't draw.
And James Cameron wanted to be in the room instead.
No, because those are just shots of the paper and the hand. Like, I don't think there's actually... I think those are separate takes.
Post production, he's like, you know what this scene needs?
Yeah. So I'm not opposed to it. I'm often a little more leery when they have like full-on
lines,
speaking roles.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino's famous for giving himself speaking lines.
Yeah, or Mel Brooks, or one of the Russo brothers is in Endgame, sitting in that like support circle that Steve Rogers is running. But it was a funny scene. The dialogue about Hooters and him trying to justify the restaurant.
How'd you know the trash was tipped over?
Yeah. Yeah. So
I know.
I think it was a fine scene. I mean, there's almost no explanation for who he is. Like he just kind of shows up and then he's gone again.
He either works in the building or works for her.
Something like that, but you don't really know. So yeah, I don't have an issue with it.
I don't think it needs explanation, but
yeah, I don't have an issue with it.
Yeah, it's fun. I always find he inserts himself, whether it's a speaking role or not. It's a pretty kind of tasteful way for a director to insert him. So he kind of doesn't give himself.
He could have played Aang.
Yeah, he could have. He probably would have done a better job.
I don't. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say what went wrong with that film.
There's a lot that went wrong with that.
No, but
film.
I mean, in terms of like, I don't think the kid gave a bad performance. I just think he was in a bad film.
It was director, it was writing, it was production.
Yeah.
The thing was crap from top to bottom.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're not talking about that. I didn't have a lot of the problems you have. I think yeah, maybe I have an easier time suspending disbelief. I don't want to. I don't know if I'm trying to toot a horn here, but
I typically
like,
I don't have trouble suspending disbelief if the expectation to do that is established early on enough, right?
Yeah.
But it wasn't. It was like, this is
I don't
solid
understand that statement.
But I'm like, because I'm watching it, and I'm like, this is really solid, and it's really grounded, and it's this character study, and it's really fascinating, and there is nothing, like, for the first half of the film, maybe more, first 2/3, there's no requirement to suspend disbelief. You're just watching this person struggling with this, and you actually end up with a, like, feeling empathetic, like, almost the biggest, people get eaten and people get, like, whatever, but almost the biggest victim of this film is Kevin.
Oh yeah.
And you just feel so sorry for the guy.
Go get my shotgun and shoot me.
Please kill me.
Yeah.
I think it's 2 years ago.
Maybe, like, I feel like they do a really good job of
you just
setting
wanted to say doo-doo?
Doo-doo, yeah. Who doesn't like saying doo-doo? Setting up the oncoming beast, right? Because pretty much the whole second act is the doctor convincing the patient that no, the beast isn't real.
I'm not even just talking about the beast. I'm talking about the barrel bolt and the, and like whatever else.
Yeah, I mean, that stuff's
getting through the deadbolt with a screw, right? Like, it's those things where I'm like, okay, that's convenient.
But your biggest hang up has been like the beast can climb on walls and that
I wouldn't say that's my biggest hang up.
And that it becomes too fantastical.
But I wouldn't even say that's my biggest hang up. I would just say that, like, it like the whole, when I was saying at the beginning that I think it was disjointed, right? It's stuff like her using the barrel bolt or the coat hanger on the barrel bolt. It's stuff like Casey getting through with the bolt, where I felt like there was a lot of thought and really great writing put into the character study portion of it. And then we needed some action, and we needed a way for Casey to get out of the room. And they're like, I don't know, maybe she sees a bolt on the ground and she grabs that.
Okay.
Right? Like, it was that stuff where it was like not knowing.
There's a bunch of little things that are too coincidental.
It just felt like once the vehicle was headed down the highway, they had a hard time steering it, right?
Right.
Like it just
right.
Yeah.
I would agree with you on those points. But as far as how fantastical the beast becomes and is, I don't have any problems with that.
Yeah. I just wish it didn't, because I think it's a more interesting movie if it doesn't. But
it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Yeah.
Most of his movies have some kind of fantastical nature to them.
I know.
There's a few that don't.
I
The
know.
Village is a good example.
Yeah.
But most of them have some wild, fantastical twist.
Yeah. And in this case, it's that Bruce Willis is there.
Yeah, and a guy can climb on walls.
Yeah, but that wasn't a twist. Like,
no, it's
because they spend the whole movie foreshadowing.
Yes,
it, right. To your point, that's not
agree.
A twist.
The big twist is that it's set in
Which is
the
dumb.
Unbreakable universe.
Dumb.
Yeah, so it's not in terms of like an M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's a twist.
Yeah,
so to parody the parody of Simpsons. Like, was that the Simpsons that did that?
I don't know.
Oh man, I can't remember where it's a twist.
Fun crossover. Yeah. The girl that plays young Casey is one of the students in The Nun.
No way.
Yeah.
Wild.
When Worlds Collide.
Crazy.
Yeah. Are we? Where are we? We're ready?
I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you had any other thoughts
Nope.
or
Nope.
discussion
I
points.
have to quickly think of a score.
Because you're all over the place.
Yeah, go ahead.
Man. So, yeah. So if I'm going to score this, we're scoring. I feel like I want to give it an 8. But I feel like maybe that's not right. I don't know. Does that seem
It's your
high?
brain. It's your opinion of the film. I don't know what the hell you're asking me.
You know what? Okay, yeah. I looking at kind of if I'm going to use the previous movies we've watched as a gauge, if I gave Robin Hood an 8.5, Monty Python a 9, and Unbreakable an 8, I'm giving this an 8.
An 8.
Yeah.
So I was going to give this a 9. I just want to hammer that home again. That I was like, God, I think this might be a 9. Like, and I was thinking that about halfway through the film. And then it changed. It dropped, and then it went up a little bit again, and maybe it dropped again. Like, it kind of flip-flopped a bunch. There's a really interesting Rotten Tomato review. One of the few negative reviews for this film. And I think it's a really interesting, like, I kind of read, I'm not fully, I don't read this and go, yes, that's it. That's 100%. But I can empathize with what's being said here. And the review just simply says, James McAvoy's phenomenal performance almost saves Split.
Oh, that's harsh.
And so I can't give it a low score because I really love the first 2 acts.
James McAvoy almost saved Split.
I'm gonna say a 7. I'm gonna
Okay.
say 7.
That's interesting.
With the asterisks of was almost a 9. Like, lost 2 full points.
That's really interesting.
Lost 2 full
Not
points.
that it dropped. That I gave Unbreakable an 8 and Split an 8. You gave Unbreakable a 7 and Split a 7.
Yeah. For different reasons. Right?
For
Like,
different reasons, but like
Unbreakable
they're
to
the
me,
same. It's interesting that we're both kind of tracking the films as kind of being
Unbreakable to
equal-ish.
me is
There's equality.
here's kind
the
of
viewing
here's kind of the
experience.
way I see it, right? So Unbreakable to me was the best part of Unbreakable doesn't come anywhere near as good as the best parts of Split, right? Split has way more going for it.
Right.
I think it's a better conceit of a film. Whereas Unbreakable is just kind of, it just sort of, throughout. Whereas Split, because it's so damn good, because the first 2 acts are a 9, Split commits bigger sins for me than Unbreakable does. And so the way that I could kind of like put that in my head is like, Unbreakable is a quarter pounder from McDonald's, right?
Pick
It's
a different
like,
restaurant.
why?
McDonald's is horrible.
This is my metaphor. Go home. Quarter pounder is Split. I mean, Unbreakable. Unbreakable is a quarter pounder from McDonald's, right?
With bacon and cheese?
It's sure, right? It's good, right? Like
It's solid.
It's solid. It scratches that itch. You're getting what you're expecting. You're it is what it is. Yeah, it's not the best burger out there, but it'll fill you up, and it's got that greasy, savory, fast food, euphoric thing that happened, chemical reaction that happens in your brain. It's, whatever. Or whatever. It's a Baconator. It's a whatever.
Right.
Fast food burger. Split, for me, was like a T-bone steak sitting on the barbecue, gets pulled off. It's perfect. It's cooked medium rare. It's got garlic butter on it. Like, it's a cut above. And right before it gets plated to you, they squeeze half a bottle of ketchup on it. And then you're like, well, I'm basically just eating the fast food burger now, right? Like, I'm not.
Right.
Yeah. That's kind of, yeah. What'd you watch this week?
Oh, dude, I watched some stuff. Because it's been 2 weeks. No, we did get together last week, didn't we?
Together.
I got some watching in somehow. I know why I got some watching in. I get hours.
No sex life.
No, I get hours in lieu, so I didn't work as much this week because I worked like 24-hour days when I was on camp.
How far into the gutter am I allowed to go right now?
I don't know.
You spent some hours in a woman named Lou?
Yeah.
Okay.
I continued my One Piece journey.
Oh, okay. Yep. Episode 9002.
Yep.
Yep. Yep.
I continuing on I'm gonna go follow the TV shows I was watching this week.
Yep.
I started watching just released this week on Netflix season 3 of Cobra Kai.
Ugh. Yeah.
Oh, so good.
Over it.
I love it. I love it.
Not good.
It's good. Actually, no, that's season 4 of Cobra Kai, or 5. It was season 3 of The Bear that my wife and I started watching.
Yes.
That
quite popular.
Is very popular. Apparently, it's got nominated for a bunch of stuff recently. Anyway, that's a fun show. Although season 3, like the first 2 episodes, feel so like as you're watching them and you feel the chaos and the tension, and you're just like, I feel stressed just watching this.
Yeah. Yep.
Like the first 2 seasons, you see it in the characters, but you don't feel it so much because there's a lot of levity.
Yeah.
But man, the first 2 episodes of season 3 are just like, I feel like I don't want to watch this because it's so stressful. But it lightens up. That's good. Anyway, movies.
Yep.
Family movie night.
Yep.
Ended up watching Emoji Movie.
Okay. Had you seen it?
No.
Is it bad?
It's an okay animated film. It's not great.
Yeah.
There are better animated films out there.
Is there a poop emoji in it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And they
beat that over the head.
They beat that like a dead horse.
Yeah.
Is
there an eggplant emoji?
No.
No.
You see one
safe?
somewhere. I do see one somewhere, but it's not like a character.
What, you see it every day when I message you?
Yeah, I do. But then I ended up because, like I said, I get some time off because I work when I do a camp.
Yeah.
Because I'm working with youth for 7 days straight, day and night.
Yeah. Teaching them how to hunt and drinking beer.
Anyway, so I took a half day off and I took my daughter to the theater.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And we watched Despicable Me 4.
Was it good?
Yeah, I enjoyed it. Have
you seen the first
animated.
3?
I have.
Okay.
And I would say there's a little bit of a roller coaster there. I would say, unlike Shrek, they're not like stretching for a story to tell. It seems like a logical progressions.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
like,
Shrek 2 made sense.
Shrek
2 is good.
Yeah, Yeah,
It was
but
real
like
good.
it by the time they get to 3, 4, and 5, like it's like, okay, what do
Well,
you
5's not out yet. Maybe 5 is amazing.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like the first Despicable Me, he meets the girls, adopts the girls.
Yeah.
Second Despicable Me, he ends up
Is that the one where he's got a twin?
meets his wife.
Oh, meets the wife.
Meets
right.
the girl, ends up working for the anti-villain league.
Yeah.
Becomes a good guy, and ends up marrying a wife. Third one
That's a twin.
would be the one that's most of a stretch, in that he finds out he's got a long lost twin that was raised by his dad, where he was raised by his mom, and his twin is a bit of a
Goody
dunce, kind of a goody two shoes, but wants to do a heist.
Yeah.
And then this one is
No, wait, no spoilers. It's still in the theater.
no, it's this be trailer stuff. Like he's got a kid now,
Right.
right?
Yes.
He's still
Okay,
working
yeah,
for
yeah,
the
yeah.
AVL.
Like his own, like, flesh and blood.
Yes, he's still working for the AVL, the Anti-Villain League. And something happens that they have to go into hiding.
Oh, okay. Witness protection.
Yeah, which like a villain comes after him and his family and threatens
Okay.
his family. And so there's a bit of a logical progression. The brother one is the only one that's kind of a bit of a stretch for a story.
Could probably
I think
just be removed altogether.
you could. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like really it comes up twice. Once as a throwaway line, and the second time is at the very end. He's in an unspoken scene where the whole family is kind of barbecuing in the backyard because everything's hunky dory again.
Spoilers.
And
Stop.
but yeah, you could skip 3, I think.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Like the story's great. They do the fun stuff with the minions. I do have a big beef, and it's in the trailers. They show how some of the minions get like superpowers. That whole storyline is pointless. It takes up a large chunk of the film about showing them getting powers and using them in training.
All right. There's too many
And
details.
it's
Too
just
many details.
it doesn't matter.
No, move on. Move on.
It's not
Move on.
important to the story.
Yeah, move on.
That was it. That's all
All
I've
right.
seen.
Cool.
What did you watch?
I watched more House.
More
Still
House.
watching House. And then
Simpsons. Still watching Simpsons.
Yeah, we've been taking a little bit of Simpsons hiatus because we're just so into House.
Right.
And then the last couple, like I just kind of like latched on, and I've been watching a lot of one YouTuber, which has been eating up sort of the rest of. And I have a new. I don't know if it's a weekly. At what point does something become a weekly tradition? How many weeks in a row do you have to do it before it's a weekly tradition?
I don't know.
Well, like, give me a number.
I don't know.
Like, let's talk this out.
Let's say what do they say? You need to do a habit. What? A
3
couple
times.
months. Couple months for something to be formed as a permanent habit.
Oh, okay. Well, it's only happened 2 weeks in a row,
Okay.
but okay. So never
That's
mind.
not a weekly tradition yet.
Oh, okay.
What is it?
Friend of the show, Aaron.
Mater?
Yeah. Has come over 2 weeks in a row. And
Wow.
we've played split screen Gears of War co-op.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of been my
That's fun.
vice.
Nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Thank you so much for listening. Make sure you check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, all listed below. We have Patreon, where for as little as $1 a month, you can support the show and get fun perks in return, such as videos where Carl, Pete, and I eat insanely hot chicken wings for your entertainment and your entertainment alone,
Coming to a Patreon near you.
because we will not be entertained.
No, it's not going to be fun. I'm
No.
not looking forward to it.
And we have merch.
Merchandise.
Yeah.
Merchandising.
Yeah.
Shirts.
Shirts and
Yeah.
jackets, sweaters.
Board games.
What? No.
Stuffies.
Yeah.
Monopoly.
No. That's back to the board game.
Yahtzee.
Which is already, well, it's more of a dice game, but no. No.
Merchandising.
You know what this weekend is? At the time of recording? Do you know there was a whole group of people that went to the theater at the night of recording this, which isn't going to come out for a bit.
Oh, right. Deadpool.
There's a whole group of people that went to the theater.
I'm going to see it before you,
Yeah,
apparently.
Probably. Yeah.
I'm going to post all the spoilers.
Then that has nothing to do with me. You're just an asshole. Everyone will hate you.
Oh, I was going to post them just to you on the Facebook Messenger.
Oh, I will block you and our friendship will end. Like you just won't be on the show anymore. That'll be it. That'll be done. I think I'm going Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah. Simply because Sunday is like the first real day I can go.
Right.
And I don't want to wait any longer because the internet
Spoilers.
scares me.
Yeah.
Like my phone will be going into airplane mode. I will be unplugging the router.
It's been really hard to avoid like trailer spoilers because like even though I have to, well, I guess I might not have to anymore because of we're not doing the news show.
No.
So I could go completely spoiler free
until we start the news show back up again someday. Who
Yeah.
knows what schedules and whatever
see
else.
what happens in life.
In like
But,
15 years
anyway,
when your kids move out.
I've been vigorously trying to avoid seeing what and who is in it.
Yeah.
And it's been hard.
Listen, I've been watching a lot of interviews with Hugh Ryan and Sean Levy, the director.
Right.
And they have said like they're shocked, they themselves are shocked that in this day and age that they have been able to keep so much under wraps. Yeah, which is exciting.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, it's going to be so good. So good. Let's effing go.
I'm going to wear my brown pants.